Well, howdy. God, that sounds stupid.
Howdy.
Perfect.
I think we should still keep it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to another episode of Expressions the Podcast. Today, it is just us hosts, 3 guys, 1 gal, good times, and we are talking about spring and other fun stuff. And nobody's more excited about spring, more than me and Mark, at least, as far as I'm concerned. But
Yeah.
here we go.
It is exciting, except spring for you and spring for me are about 2 months apart. So
A little further north.
yeah.
That's a fair point. Anywho, let's say hi to everybody. Should we start with ladies? Should we do ladies first? Let's do
I
ladies
believe so.
first.
I think we should start with the person who has the biggest news to talk about.
Ladies first, then. Aurora, what's going on? What's new and exciting?
Hi guys.
Hey, it's been a while.
It's
been 2 weeks since you've been on.
2 weeks
Mhm.
since I've been on the show. I
Nothing
was on
happened in life.
vacation and
Little vacation, nothing exciting happened.
yeah, you know, I got engaged, guys.
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Andrew's upstairs probably like laughing or something right now. But yeah, we went on vacation. It was really nice, and on our anniversary, we went to Wyerton, Ontario. Our anniversary is Groundhog Day. So Wyerton is where in Ontario we have the Groundhog Day celebration. They have like the groundhog come out and stuff like that. And later on that day, after we saw the prediction of an early spring, there's a connection, early spring, with the groundhog. We, went around town and we went to a nice little breakfast place, although we had breakfast twice already that morning. There wasn't much to do in the city of Wyerton.
It's the breakfast city of Ontario.
It's pretty small. If you blink, you miss it, except for the hill.
Yeah.
Gopher Hill?
Honestly, it's a very small town.
The hill leaving if you're heading north is like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There was nothing open at 9 o'clock in the morning, and the prediction happens at 8:07 a.m. Very particular time. And we got there for 7 a.m. because they had fireworks in the morning, which was pretty cool. So after the prediction,
so they can wake up the gopher
In the morning.
or ground. I guess he's a groundhog, right?
Yeah, the gopher.
Same thing.
I just picture the Caddyshack gopher.
Yeah. Bill Murray has issues. Yeah.
It was honestly like a cute little thing to be there. There was actually quite a few people. It was like, I don't know, it felt like 150 at least people that were there. Mostly like families. So like, the parents and the kids, I guess, that lived in Wyerton, they went to the festival in the morning, and then as soon as a prediction happened and everything was done, they had their whole little like speech and everything. Everybody darted out. They were like, okay, bye, because I guess they had to go to work or school, or both.
Had to beat the traffic.
Yeah, had to beat the traffic. We thought there was going to be festivities after. It said that they were going to be on the website, but I guess they hadn't updated it from the previous year. The first time that we looked at the website, so there was nothing to do, so we went and had a third breakfast. And then after that we went yeah,
just like hobbits.
And then we went to a few shops, like thrift stores, and saw like little gift and souvenir shops along Wyerton. And then after that he kept saying, oh, let's go back to the statue. There's a Wyerton Willie statue right on like the waterfront. He said we'll have like a walk along like the waterfront and then go to the statue and then take a picture together. And I said, okay, cool, that's good. So we ended up going there. So we walk up to the statue area, and there's this ice throne kind of thing that's like right in front of the statue, and I'm like, oh wow, someone sculpted this like throne out of ice right here. And he was like, oh yeah, that wasn't supposed to be there. And I'm like, what? And then he was just like, oh yeah, well, why would they put it in front of the statue? Everybody comes here to Wyerton to see the groundhog and then get a picture with the statue. Like, it doesn't make sense they would put it right there, but it was very beautiful. So I'm like taking pictures, whatnot, and he said, okay, I'll take a photo of you. And then I said, okay. So I sat down on the little ice throne, and then he's taking pictures, and I'm telling him how to take the picture.
Of
And he's
course.
like, oh gosh. And then he's just like, okay, here you go. And then I went and I looked at the photos, and I'm like, okay, this is nice. They're okay. And he's just like,
You have to give
okay.
your seal of approval, of course.
Yes, of
Oh,
course.
yeah. Yes.
After every photo taken of me that he takes, I have to get the approval.
I go through that as well. Yes.
And then he's just like, okay, but I want to take one on my phone, so sit back down again. And I'm like, okay. And then I sat back down. I'm like, it's kind of weird, but sure. I could just send you the photo, but maybe you wanted one on his phone. And then he's just like, oh, but before we do that, I have a question to ask you. And then I was like, okay. And then he got down on one knee, and all I could say in that moment was, are you serious right now? I just like screamed it very loudly. And then he said yes. And then I said, he started pulling out the ring. And then I said, what? And then I started crying. And yeah, basically,
Did you remember to say yes though? Did you
yeah,
remember to say
well,
yes?
he was like, he kept saying, did you say yes? Did you say no? Is that a yes? Is that a yes? Kept saying, but I was just crying. I couldn't answer. And I answered after a few.
Well, it's not like you've been waiting a while for this.
Yeah. 13-year anniversary. Lucky number 13.
There you
Is
go.
what I said.
So I think it's safe to say that Aurora's
my toast.
fiance is the
Yeah.
most like genius man on the planet right now.
Fiance, yes. I love that you said it like that, because I've been like emphasizing the word fiance quite a bit since I've been saying it a lot. Andrew's been saying it a lot because he knows I like it. I don't know, it's different.
You know what? It
It's
has
different.
a nice ring to it.
It
Really
does.
yeah.
And you're only a fiance for so long. Like,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Well, after you get married, you're husband and wife, and you're for
That's
that
right. I'm
amount
just
of
a
time.
husband now, yeah.
Yeah.
I should hashtag house husband, right?
Yeah.
House husband. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a short time in your life, right? So you might as well use up the word, right?
Yeah, that's right. I did it. So my fiance.
Yeah.
It was, lots of fun throwing that word around. And but you do it a lot when you're planning and you're looking for things. Especially if you approach somebody that you think might be able to help you find a product or service you're looking for. You throw it out there. Hey, I was talking to my fiance about your services. And
yeah. It's nice. It definitely is nice.
That's awesome. So now the next question is have you guys set a date?
This is the question everybody asks. Have you guys set a date? So I basically, one of the first things I said, we sat in the car. I'm like, okay, we gotta call people. And before I started calling people, I'm like, you know what? Like, I just want you to know that I would rather just not plan anything for a couple months, because I feel like it's important to enjoy being engaged for a little bit before you get into planning and like the stress of like money and it's two families too who have input on the whole situation, and I think it's nice we can delay it a little bit, because it's not like delaying forever, just a couple months of just us being engaged before we
Perfect.
anything. Yeah.
So after 13 years, I think you could last a couple more months.
Yeah.
Well,
that's exactly right. I was saying, like, I think we do. It's been 13 years. We've been through so much together. I think we deserve to enjoy being engaged for a little bit before
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right to
It's
like
not like you're going
details.
anywhere, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, when Chris and I got married, when we got engaged, we were engaged the same weekend as one of my best friends and her best friend.
Oh, nice.
So and that's how I snuck it in, right? Because she knew that my friend was going to propose to her friend. So she did not expect it at all. So I snuck it right in there. So Chris and I had gone away for the weekend, and when we came back, right, of course, everyone's like, "Oh, and we're like, I don't know." Well, as it turned out, when we got back from like literally a 3-day weekend, they had a date, a venue, they had a theme, they had all this stuff already picked, and Chris and I are like, "All right, well, we'll because the wedding parties were pretty much the same, just in different orders, right?" So they're like, "Well, when are you guys getting married?" Well, let's go the year after you, because then that way it gives everybody a break.
Yeah.
And we didn't care, but and that's awesome though. I'm so happy for you guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And it's going to be awesome, and I'm happy that you're taking some time to really just enjoy being engaged and then before you start planning. And I think what's going to happen is doing that. Your planning is going to be it's going to start very generically. Like you'll see something and you'll all of a sudden, hey, what do you think of that for a wedding or for a centerpiece or something? You'll just things will pop up, right?
or
I mean, for the longest
go to the wedding
time,
shows.
So for the longest time, I have a Pinterest board. I had a Pinterest board for rings. I have a Pinterest board for wedding things and stuff like that. It sounds like very basic girl type of talk, but I have a Pinterest board. So I've saved all these things that I like, and some are ideas that might not be it. Some are ideas that may be included. Some here or there, right? But having a Pinterest board is like having making a mood board, or like just cutting magazine clippings together and stuff like that. So it's nothing obviously set in stone. It's just things that I like, that I'm like, okay, that looks nice, or that's a neat idea. But that's something that I've been doing probably for maybe like 4 years or so now. My friend Elisa, my best friend, she was there. She was shooting our pictures and our video of the proposal, which is why I have like these amazing photos and some video footage of what happened.
So the real star here is
was
Andrew.
The one. He did an amazing
planned
job.
everything.
Yeah. Well, he's very modest. He was saying, "Oh, I couldn't have been able to do it without, the help of Danny and George, who were also a help to him. Like he was the one, they were the ones who showed him the fact that I had a Pinterest board with rings on it and stuff like that." And then Elisa helped plan out like the shoot and the logistics of the actual proposal. But I mean, he planned with them, right? Like he's very modest about the whole thing, but he did a really amazing job.
Well, good job to him.
Mr. MVP.
Yeah,
Good job to him.
And
Well
like
done,
he did
Andrew.
it perfectly. Yeah, well done, Andrew. Is what they're saying. I don't know if he's hearing right now, but
Well done, dude. You did good.
Yeah.
You picked the winner.
But yeah, no, it was awesome. Definitely happiest day.
I'm trying not to cry
ever.
myself. Like that's
Oh,
I'm so happy right now. I'm not even engaged. That's happening.
It's exciting. It's exciting for
This is
sure.
good
So
shit.
I appreciate.
I gotta tell John.
everything.
John's gonna lose his shit. He's gonna be like, "No way." You're like, yeah.
That's pretty much what Chris
Right.
said. She's like, "No way." Although when I get off the show and I tell her it had been 13 years that you've been together, she's gonna go because Chris and I were together. I'm trying to think. We were together. Trying to think 4, 6, 5 years before we got married, and I was already getting the always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Yeah. No, I get that. I can get that aspect of it. I mean, we've been together for 13 years, but we met very young, right? Like we've been together. I was 16 when we started dating. So, obviously you're not going to get married a year into dating when they're 16, right?
Yeah, right. They just gave it away.
Yeah. I'm 29, guys. 29, turning 30 this year.
What a coincidence! So am I.
No, I am not. I wish.
But yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations.
That is, just amazing. That's the best news.
And the worst part is now I feel like an idiot because I've got my stupid wife shot me thing up here, and you've got engaged, and we've got semi-professional comedian for hire, and we've got professional scapegoat. I don't quite get it.
I wanted to put something funny up there, but I couldn't really think of anything. And then when you guys mentioned before we started recording that I should be talking about the proposal, I'm like, okay, I'll just put engaged.
Yeah. You should have put the only person that can make Sean look like a badass in Henry's.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
fact.
You brought like cool props and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you just had the lighting and everything, and that's a good one for sure.
Yeah. Anywho, on to the next couple of people on the panel here. Shit, we've heard so much about Aurora's very happy, and
we're 17 minutes in, guys, and you just said hi to me.
It was so
it's good, all good, though. And that's it for the show tonight.
Have a good night. It's been.
We're just gonna finish on a high note and be done with it.
I mean, I'm not emotional, but damn, that was good shit.
That was good. That was
a
good.
Good cry. I needed that. Anyway, Mark, I haven't seen you in a bit, man. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going well. It was I think last week when we talked, I was kind of like, it was a week. But this week I had some fun. Like it was Super Bowl Sunday yesterday, and no, we're good. Okay. So sorry, I'm seeing notes here, and I'm like, Mark fucked up. So anyways, yeah, I know it was Super Bowl Sunday, and since I do not watch football at all, but I'm a big foodie, I did the Super Bowl food. So we had wings and nachos for dinner last night. I made
nice.
I made fresh wings and did a big monster thing on nachos that I did up in the oven with like all kinds of fixings on it. It literally took us all night to eat it. I had to keep going and reheating it. Because it was like we should have invited me, man. Grazed for a little while, and then it was like, I'm done. All right. An hour later, like, let's throw that back in the oven. Yeah, okay.
I don't think you're the only one that was like that on Super Bowl Sunday.
So that was good. But I also went in something that doesn't happen everywhere. But we have ice racing here in Thunder Bay. So went out and got some pictures of the ice racers out on. It's not really on Lake Superior because the unnerving part is there's these cars. If you look at some of the pictures, there's these cars on this track that is just a sheet of ice because it's water. It's a body of water. And then there's sort of like you can see a mound behind them with all these trees lining it. And behind that is Lake Superior, which is not frozen at all. So it's like, here are these guys dinging around in this sheet of ice, like this body of water. I don't imagine it's very deep. It's like a basin sort of. But they all run like little 4-cylinder cars, full roll cages, and a lot of Hondas. The Hondas, the two heats that I watched, the Hondas dominated. As Honda Civics and Honda CRXs dominated the racing, so that was pretty cool. Make Brian happy. Made him not happy to see them cut up into race cars, but happy that they won, and happy now that I explained to him that they've rescued those probably from going to the wreckers. So.
Yeah, my reaction wasn't up to par. I've been having a habit of giving reactions that aren't appropriate for things. Lately.
Well, here's the thing: is a friend of mine mentioned when he saw the pictures. He says, that's that guy that used to own that car came in after the races into our store. And he was telling me he was at the races to see his car race. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, the one Honda in the first pictures, the blue and silver Honda was that guy's car. I think it was number 3. But anyways, cool. Yeah. So that was really cool. Like he gets to see his car live on instead of going to the scrapyard. And there isn't really scrapyards here. They just crush them all. They get loaded onto Lakers and then shipped down to Southern Ontario for scrap metal. So there isn't a big parts thing here like they have down there. But yeah, that was sort of my big thing was Sunday. It was fun.
Cool.
It was fun. Yeah.
That's neat.
Cool, Sounds like fun. Sounds like a lot of fun. The photos were cool
fun.
Too.
Yeah, the photos were fun, and then I ate a lot, and
yeah, that shit looked fucking fun as hell, dude.
yeah. I had a couple of friends comment, we live in the wrong spot. I'm like, move up here. There's like plenty of houses for sale.
Oh shit. Well, Brian, fuck, I feel like I haven't seen you since earlier today?
I know, like 4:00. No, yes, we had a good time today. Thanks for doing that. That was cool.
Thanks for doing it for me. That was awesome.
Just so before they let it out of the bag, Sean and Brian were at crossovers in Barrie this afternoon. So it was, I'm kidding.
If I knew what that was, I'd probably laugh a little harder. This is what we were doing today.
Right.
Nice.
They stole a car. No, wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got to take some pictures of Lucille. Got to finally hang out with Lucille and her new skin.
Yep.
There, her new tires, looking beautiful.
Nice.
So I got some photos to edit.
I want to note that I'm looking at the sides of the road there. There is no snow where you guys are.
Yeah,
not too much.
Lucky.
Yeah,
not too much.
It was snowing for like a brief period, but it stopped after 20 minutes. I think.
Yeah,
it was light shit though.
Yeah, it was wet. Lucky.
Yeah. My car right now, my SUV is the color of the side of the road there.
Yeah, Aurora, that was Bogue Road and 404 area. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bridge where the 404 goes over the Bogue Road.
Yeah.
Nice.
And nobody ever drives on Bogue Road.
Yeah, I mean, we had to move a couple times. It was a couple times. It wasn't too bad though. Yeah, and as far as the Super Bowl thing goes, I guess Shelly went all out for that as well. She made this really cool buffalo chicken dip thing, and she had other little snacky things, and she did a whole Super Bowl spread for us. We weren't watching the Super Bowl. We wanted. Yeah. She wanted to watch Rihanna. So
yeah, we watched Chris and I watched a movie.
Yeah. And I came up to edit afterward anyway. I started watching Rihanna. I was like, nope, she's hanging on some platforms. Not interested. She's not moving around. She's not doing anything. She's on platforms singing the same songs I've heard a million times.
Apparently she's pregnant. You can't expect her to hop all over the place.
If she was pregnant, she shouldn't have been 30 feet in the air on these platforms.
Oh well. Yeah.
But anyway, what do I know?
There's flight restrictions about that kind of shit. What the hell?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Right now, where there's balloons flying all over the place, you're getting shot down. You don't want to be suspended anywhere.
Oh, right, exactly. They shoot her down. She's a UFO. It doesn't look like
we know she's Rihanna, so really she's an IFO. She's an identified flying object.
Oh yes. And speaking of scrapyard, though, I had to send my poor bullet to the scrapyard this week.
Oh yeah. What are they giving for a car these days?
I got a few dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I allowed to say?
Like $5.
Yeah, $500.
500. Oh.
That's more than I got for my Jetta.
They offered me less. I talked them up.
I'm thinking the last time I took a car to the scrapyard, I got $50 for it.
Well, I didn't even take it. They came and picked it up. So
even better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. They show up. Loaded it onto the thing. My car ran perfectly fine. That's what pisses me off so much. It really, I could start it up boom every single time. It really ran great, but it was rusting out. And if I got into an accident, it would turn into dust, and I'd be dead. Mm-hmm. So for safety's sake, and the fact that I do need to travel further than 2 kilometers to get to work and back. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I'm 800 meters from work. I live 800 meters from work, but eventually I would like to drive beyond that. So that's why I would like a little better car. So that's what I did. Yeah, it was fun. Got a little Mazda. So the episode that we did on our vehicles on Expressions Through Transportation, my little car that I have, she no more. I'm very sad.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. R.I.P. Yeah. But that was I've had a good week. I've had a very good week. And I'm very excited for spring to come. Very excited because I don't know about you guys, but 2023 has been a big change for me. I've done a lot of different things. I started shooting wrestling professionally. And I know that sounds stupid considering I've been shooting wrestling since 2007. I was
going to say, not that you weren't shooting wrestling professionally before. It's just now you have a second gig.
Now I'm actually
you're getting paid for it.
Yeah. Now I'm saying yes to jobs, basically. Yeah.
Compensated.
Yeah, yes. I had been compensated before, and that's the big misconception. And we did a whole show on this, Aurora. We talked about this. We had other wrestling photographers on. So I've done stuff before, but the compensation wasn't necessarily, hey, yes, I'll do it for this much. See you there, and then leave when I'm done. It was, I shoot for Barrie. I love Barrie. We've had Sean on our show. They're like my home turf. I've got their Barrie Wrestling Hall of Fame plaque on my wall over here. I'll always go to Barrie. Demand Lucha. Always go to Demand Lucha. He, Jordan is who did our logos, Expression Podcast. He did my Day Tripper photo logo. So, I mean, there's compensation there. But at the same time, this is the first time I've said yes when somebody asked me to shoot. My hashtag is I shoot for me. It gives me permission to make mistakes. And that's why, Sean, you're telling me like these photos are supposed to be good of your car today. I'm just like, no, don't do that. Don't put that pressure on me, because the minute there's pressure and there's other people's expectations on photos, I know I suck.
Oh,
And
no,
as
dude, they were
somebody
fantastic.
reminded me recently, I'm just pretending to be something I'm not sometimes, So it's like, frustrating, very frustrating.
Well, I'm a hard to please guy, but those photos I saw were fantastic.
Oh,
and we'll talk after. We'll talk after. Brian. You're better than you think. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Time will tell. Time will tell. See what my legacy is when I'm gone. We'll see. We'll go by that.
We did a show on that. We did a show on legacies.
Yes.
I think my legacy will be this book with a cat on it.
Oh, but that's a little Dixie cat. That's a black and white cat like my Dixie.
Cute?
It's very cute. All right, spring.
Random
Sean,
thing on my
Yes.
list.
take us to spring.
Sean. Sean didn't tell us what he was up to.
Oh, right.
Well, I didn't really do much, honestly. I mean, I've been not planning to do anything super crazy for Valentine's Day,
Right.
which, mind you, that episode came out today, and I listened to it. It was still funny, still fantastic as per usual. But no, I think I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna eat some pizza, watch a couple movies, and just hang out. But I have some business to attend to this week. I have a ton of stuff. A ton.
Got the business.
Yeah, business. I got a bunch of stuff I got to do to the car. As I said, I think on last recording, I'm getting ready for the Tri-City Expo, which is a big car show. So I have like the bumper I got to fix. I put my wheels on, the ones that were sitting in my room. They're currently on my car right now because I had an itch I had to scratch. We had a nice couple of days. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to put them on and drive around, which is where those photos came from. Thank God. Look at that. Fucking gorgeous. I can't get over it. It just looks so good. So yeah, I have them on for, I think until tomorrow evening. So I might take them off tomorrow evening because Wednesday's supposed to be garbage and I don't want to work in the rain. And
See, it's funny. We're talking about spring right now, but yet we're still in winter.
Yeah. It's
talking
weird.
about it. Yeah.
It's so weird. But like, I'm so excited for spring though. Like I'm so ready to just not go outside and freeze my balls off. Like I just want to go outside in shorts and look at
Roar's laughing. Yeah, me too. I saw that.
Well, it's like spring here right now. I mean, I left work today. I didn't even put a jacket on. I was just wearing a hoodie anyway because it was just so nice. It was like +5 or +6, so it was like spring. It's not gonna last, but it was springy. It was good.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I got a lot of stuff I got to do to the car still, and a lot of it's happening this week, hopefully, or next week. I got new exhaust tips. I'm putting those on the car. Big fucking cannons. Got the bumper I got to fix. I still have to redo my underglow. And then first nice day, right when the wheels go on, the seats come out. I do a full deep clean of the interior, deep clean on the outside. And then thus starts show season for me. So
seats come out?
Yeah, I take out my front seats and I do all the carpets. And I do the back seats because it's easier to get back there when there's no front seats in it.
Man, I wouldn't even know where to start taking seats out of my car.
It's.
I don't know. I didn't think you could do that.
Yeah, you just need a ratchet, 10 mil. You just fucking take those bitches out.
Okay.
Yeah. I did it last spring actually. The amount of garbage and cigarette butts and lighters and shit that I had in my car was astronomically disgusting.
Cigarette butts.
Yeah, because I was still kind of smoking then and there, and a lot of my buddies would smoke still too. But like when it was raining, they would like ash in the cup, and sometimes the cups would break because people would step on them, and it was a whole fucking thing. Yeah, it was a whole new level of what the fuck.
The only time I had the seats out of my Trans Am, I was getting ready for a car show, and I was doing some work around the car, and I had a standard screwdriver in my back pocket, and I completely forgot about the screwdriver, slid into the driver's seat.
Oh no!
Fucking skewered my driver's seat, just obliterated the seat cover on it, and I was getting the car ready to take it down to the Performance World Car Show at the International Center.
God
yeah. So, anyways, I had to end up shanking the seat out, get it to a guy, emergency reupholster, right? So it was, and at the time I had no money. I had those that just broke, and I'm like paying for reupholstering it, and I'm like,
What a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, shit happens.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's talk about fucking spring, okay?
Spring.
Love
Spring is sprung.
So good. That's the one time I get to see my car clean as shit, no salt on the roads. It's fantastic. But enough about my car. So I have a question that I'm going to ask you guys at the end. It involves spring and spring cleaning, so to speak. Actually, speaking of spring cleaning, where the hell did that come from? I want to know where that came from. Do you guys have the Googles open?
Shall I Google it on my other monitor?
Yes. Who came up with the spring cleaning? Because in my house, because both my parents are like super European, so the fact that like the whole spring cleaning thing, like we would just completely tear the whole house apart and clean it top to bottom.
Some researchers trace the origin of spring cleaning to Iranian Nowruz, the Persian New Year, which falls on the first day of spring. Iranians continue the practice of kanat-tekani, shaking the house, basically is what that means, just before the Persian New Year. So the Persians start everything. Have you noticed?
That's cool.
Interesting.
The roots of almost everything. Did you know Mazda? Joseph at work, Aurora, taught me this. Mazda, the name Mazda is actually Persian from a gentleman named Mazda.
Interesting.
I
did not know that.
I don't know if that's actually where the name Mazda was brought from, but I mean, Mazda is a Persian name, and Joseph made a point to tell me this. So
Interesting.
because now I own a Mazda. So
there we go. So there is more points here. It says biology may play a role in the human urge to spring clean. During darker winter months, the body produces more melatonin, a hormone that increases sleepiness. As days lengthen, this natural lethargy lessens, and we literally feel lighter with greater energy, and we're more likely to want to clean our house.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ. All winter, I can tell you right now, I would fall asleep at probably 8 a.m. and get up at around 8 p.m. and then spend the entire night awake. I am not sleepy. I am a night owl, and I don't like it.
Well, we've got. I'm spoiled up here, and I do not like to vacuum. So I bought myself one of those robot vacuums.
Oh,
yeah, but it's the Bissell version of it. So we called it if any fans out there, we called the Bissell the T800.
Nice,
right? So T800 goes in and he terminates the dust, right? So he's going, but he's dumb. He just goes in these erratic patterns. Does a not bad job. He was like the best frivolous thing I ever bought, like for the house. I'm like, this is awesome. I haven't pushed a vacuum around forever. So then at Christmas, my mother-in-law says, what do you want? Well, we got 2 floors on our house. So let's get another unit and we'll put one upstairs, one downstairs. So we actually bought a Roomba this time. And it's one of the ones that self-empties and everything like that. So we called him R2D2. And he's smart though. He maps the house. Like I got a text message from him the other day, and he's mapped my house.
You got a text message from your vacuum?
Yeah. So he says, okay, this is your house, and I'm like, whoa, that's like some weird like abstract shit.
That's
I'm telling
crazy.
you, it's just weird. But so I get this text message.
I'm done.
He's mapped the house, but yesterday he took a break. So he was cleaning. I was in here editing photos. He's cleaning, and I get a message from him. He's taking a break. So he's on the dock. He's charging. He's emptied himself. And I thought, fuck it. I'll fire up the T800, right? He's in another room. So, yeah. So I fire up the T800, and he starts going. And then I hear R2 fire up again. And he starts going. I'm like, okay, now I'm thinking I'm going to have like robot wars in my. I'm here working on the pictures of the races. I walk out of the office. The 2 of them are like fucking jousters. They're coming down the hall towards one another. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be. Of course, they're moving this fast, right? So
where's the slow mo video of this?
They were moving slow mo. So, anyways, they missed each other by inches. maybe a foot. But
I
and
can
they
just-
went along their merry way. But I thought I'm gonna have a fight here in the hall.
I can just
Bissell versus Roomba. Who's gonna win?
I can just picture one of the vacuums like coming to life and talking to you, or like sending you a text and being like, "I am the Roomba from the year 2025."
I know, right? Well, if it starts calling me Dave, I'm out of here.
If it messages you and says it's being bullied by the other one, then you gotta be like, oh, come on now.
I almost named him Hal, and I thought, no,
Oh,
can't do it.
that's just asking for trouble.
Right?
Oh man, spring cleaning. Oh, I found another explanation. Of course, I have to find this one. Another possibility has been suggested that the origins of spring cleaning date back to the ancient Jewish practice of thoroughly cleansing the home in anticipation of the springtime festival of Passover, Pesach, in remembrance of the Israelites' hasty flight from Egypt following their captivity there. During the week-long observance of the Passover holiday, there are strict prohibitions about eating or drinking anything which may have been leavened or fermented. The Jews are not only supposed to refrain from leavened foodstuffs, they're supposed to command to rid their homes of even small remnants of chametz. I could say that because I studied pedagogy when I was younger. For the length of the holiday. Therefore, observant Jews conduct a thorough spring cleaning of the house, followed by a traditional hunt for the chametz crumbs by candlelight on the evening before the holiday begins. So they're just very clean people.
There you go.
That's neat. Damn.
Yep. So there you go. There's the answer to your question, Sean.
Well, there we go.
Spring cleaning has an origin.
Isn't that something?
I've decided I'm going to find an OCD support group here in town, and I'm going to invite them to my house. I'm going to join the group. And then I'll invite them over for dinner or something. And then, I got to go out and get something I forgot. Come back in a couple hours when the house is
Make sure they have a lot of edibles.
My goodness.
You gotta be like, these are my self-cleaning vacuums. this is R2 and this is the T800. This is Arnold.
Arnold.
I'll get you.
You should teach it how to say, I'll be back.
Yeah, right.
Get back to the living room.
Come with me if you want to clean.
So, what do you guys usually do do you guys do it like a full spring cleaning? I clean all the time. I mean, we're cleaning every week. We're cleaning times a week. I mean, you got to maintain your house, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I live in an apartment, so my room is just constantly a shit show. So I just spring clean the car.
That's where you focus your energy.
Yeah, my spring cleaning is more focused at work, right? It's because that's where people see. Nobody comes here, so I really don't care what it looks like. So, but the robots keep the floor clean, and then the problem is usually you marry somebody you're a great partner with, and my wife and I in many aspects are great partners, except one problem: neither one of us likes to dust. So it's like. Just the worst,
and that's why you have big furry dogs and cats in the house.
And his name is Dusty, and he hasn't dusted a thing. His name is a lie, Dusty.
You should have read the brochure, dude.
His name.
There was a brochure. Hey, come at me, bro.
Oh shit!
Come at me, bro.
Give him shit.
This is a new trick. I'm teaching him that. Come at me, bro.
Look at the face.
Oh, so cute.
I will clean your dust for you, Daddy.
The most useless
fluffy tail. His big fluffy tail. It'll clean off a table, but it doesn't take the dust off it. Like it takes all the crap off the table.
With it, yeah.
That's his face. He's a handsome boy. He's a good one. Cookie? You want a cookie? Okay.
Wow.
I have office cookies. Yeah. Always
there
right
you
here.
go.
Right here there are.
So always got the
Office
treats on
milk
hand.
ones. Come.
So this time of year, guys, why is it that everything has to change over? Why is it that we change our bedding and I know we have to change our bedding, but go to spring floral themes and everything seems to change. All of a sudden, people just have to enjoy this weather.
Yeah, I never understood that. Why is it that people have to change the aesthetic of their homes and or other things in order to enjoy a season? Okay, Christmas is an understandable one.
I'm married to an elf. Okay, we have 12 bins of Christmas stuff in the basement, so season changeover I kind of get.
Yeah.
Well, spring is such a subtle difference.
I mean, the only reason the bedding, I mean, you clean the bedding, you wash your bedclothes. That happens regularly. Right?
You should. Definitely people should do that. Sean, take notes. Okay.
So you do that. But the only reason that, like, we've got a couple of different, like, I've got our comforters that are on for the Arctic winter that we get are they're too heavy. I can't wash them here. I'm going to take them to the laundromat to do the washing because they're so big and fluffy. They're nice and fluffy. Would you stop? And so, anyways, it's the only reason they change is we put lighter bedclothes on come the spring, right? As the season starts to chip, and maybe now have the furnace off because it's warm enough. That's where that comes in. So it's a lighter comforter and whatnot that we end up putting on the bed, and that's why we change it. But other than that, we've got several sets of sheets so that I don't have to wash the sheets to put new ones on. I can just strip the bed, throw it in the pile in the laundry room, and then I can put a new set on, right? So
Roy, do you have any what's the word I'm looking for, things that you do, traditions? Thank you. Spring things that you do.
Yeah, I mean, I put up my Christmas decorations late, which means I take them down late. Usually they come down like just before Valentine's Day kind of thing. So I keep them up for a while. As far as like spring stuff is concerned, I feel like it's an energy level thing for me. Like every year around Christmas, around winter and New Year's and everything, things are just like crazy busy and very tiring. Like all the family things that you have to go to and work and buying people gifts and like money. You're like drained of all your money and resources and sleep. That when it comes around to this time in February, it's kind of like recuperating, and then into March when it comes to spring, it's like you're back on track. You've recuperated after like the Christmas time period and the holiday season and everything, and I just feel like I become a little bit more like productive and start doing more things and start cleaning things up and organizing things, getting rid of stuff that maybe there's really no reason to keep around kind of thing. But yeah, I guess it's more of an energy level type of thing for me, because it's spring, like after the whole holiday time period is very draining and that kind of thing. You recuperate and then you're back on track. You're back into the swing of things, and you're being more just productive. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
The stuff that you have to do. Right.
Well, that's because you can leave work on a Sunday and it's still sunny outside. Finally.
Yeah.
I think there is that too during the winter when you get home and it's dark. It feels so late all the time that you feel like I don't want to start cleaning. I don't want to get into cleaning now. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, when it's still sunny out at 7 or 8 o'clock, it's like, I can do that. I can clean up something, or I can pick a room. So I guess that's actually a good point, a good segue. What do you guys have as far as now? I know, Sean, you said you live in an apartment, but for cleaning tips as far as how to get the cleaning done. Do you guys have any tricks to get the whole thing done, or do you just sort of attack it?
Just throw on some good music. Any good music that gets the blood pumping, just throw it on and fucking speed through your shit.
Yeah. I like music, adding music in the background when I'm cleaning or doing things, or putting something on that I've watched before that I could just kind of like listen to in the background. Like especially when I'm cleaning the kitchen or doing things in the kitchen, like the TV is just kind of like off to the side. I've watched The New Girl is an example of a show I've watched a million times. And I just love it. And I don't have to watch it, and I understand what's going on just by listening to what's happening. And I can, clean the counters, do the dishes, make dinner, and not really have to watch what is on the screen in order to, still enjoy something.
I'm that way too. Yeah. I've always got music playing when I'm doing something. Like I've even got like a radio in the garage, so that I can have a radio station playing while I'm working on stuff down there, right? So
Definitely a good way to make time go by faster. Put
That's
music
true.
on. Yeah. Kind of put your head down, focus on what you got to do. It also helps having a wife with a very loud voice. So 2 reasons for that. One, because she can say things that I'll hear and be able to do, so I'll know that she means it. And 2, if I don't do them, that loud voice becomes painful. So yeah, that's great motivation for me to clean. Besides that, though, I mean, you live in a house, and one of the nice things I love about spring is the fresh air and the feeling of like being able to open your windows again and let that air blow through the room without freezing your tits off and stuff like that. So that kind of goes part and parcel with keeping a nice clean home, right?
Yeah. Actually, that was leading me to my next question. Actually, I was going to ask you guys, what's your favorite part of the spring season? That's a tough one, isn't it?
Longer days. Like longer, more light later for me.
I can see that.
Because I love winter too. Like I'm a big winter fan. I love all weather. I don't complain about weather because my weather people are usually there for me,
Yeah, and we do
We're
live in Canada
there today,
right?
a little bit.
We do live in Canada, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You got to expect what you expect.
So I'm totally cool with all weather, but having light later is really nice. Leaving work with light makes a big difference.
Yeah.
That's a big one for me too, but I also just like not having to rush out of the cold. Like I'm always like, oh, I'm so cold. I just need to get into my car quick, or I need to get into the house quick. When it's spring, then it's like, oh, I can, like you feel nicer. Like, oh, I'll go to a walk to the park, or like, walk over to the mailbox, or walk around, the plaza to get, the stuff that I'm buying, rather than, just rushing to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just being outside, enjoying the weather.
Yeah.
Because I know people who are, I guess maybe from the US, our spring weather is probably really cold to them, but for us, it's like, oh, it's so nice. It feels
Let's
so
specify
warm.
Southern US, because Northern US, there's parts in Vermont and Maine and New Hampshire that are actually further north than we are. So,
well, I mean, I'm the classic example. I've got Minnesota is, right there, right? It's 40 kilometers from Thunder Bay. So, I mean, when you're there, we went down to Duluth a couple of weeks ago, and it was amazing to see that they actually had more snow than we do, and they're south of us. So, that was neat. But I think that's just the way the lake effect hit them this year, right? And it didn't really hit us up here. Like there's still like the driveway back to my garage where my summer toy is got 1.5 foot of snow in it, so I'm gonna have to wait to get that out. Although if the weather stays nice on Wednesday, I might go fire up that ATV and go tearing around the lawn on it. So, but why not throw it in four-wheel drive and shred some snow? But my favorite part, I think, I'm with Aurora and Brian. There was so much of the spring that I like. I like to open the windows. I like the extra light, but I think my favorite thing is that I feel like I do more outside. Like I'm outside more in the spring. I don't really feel the cold, but I don't really enjoy being out in it. Like I don't get cold, but I don't.
You don't get cold, period?
Not really. Like I don't get super cold. Like I'll get a little chill. Like I'll throw on a hoodie or whatever, but I don't feel that I don't really get cold. So when it's -10, -20 outside, I can go out, I can blow the driveway. I don't get cold, but I just don't enjoy being out there, right? As much as I do in the summer, right? Or in the spring. I like the spring because there's no bugs. That's what I like about the spring. And then,
that's a good thing. So one of the things our show is really important to talk about is creativity, things like that. So what kind of creative things do you guys think we can do in the spring? Like we talked about what we like about it. Sean, you didn't even actually say what you like about spring yet.
I like cleaning my car. That's it. I love cleaning my car. The fact that I get to get out there and like spend countless hours of my day just beating the piss out of my seats and my dash with all these cleaning products and then washing the car, it's like calming to me.
What do you use? What cleaning products? I want to know because I don't know. You saw my car today for the first time.
Yes.
And there was that weird little spatter on the back of the car. Like I showed you that like yellowish ivory kind of colored stuff. What do I use? How do you clean your car?
Well, this is what I use mainly for all that kind of sticky, gooey stuff that's whatever's left on cars. At least for me, when I had to take my stickers off, this was mint because it gets it all off the car and the windows and whatever else. But I have a lot of Chemical Guys stuff that I use. Like my cleaning bag is right here, and it's just filled to the brim with Chemical Guys like Quick Detailer, window cleaner, rim cleaner, tire shine, you name it, I have it. It's the greatest, to me, it's the greatest brand that I used for my car. It gets the job done. It makes the car look shiny and nice. And I enjoy it, man. It's, I go to the store every now and then. The amount of times I take a trip to Canadian Tire in the spring is ridiculous. Just to buy new shit.
I bought some cleaning stuff today for the car. Yeah, I mean, I finally have a car that I want to make shiny. My car color, they paid $500 extra for when the car was new. That white pearl finish kind of thing.
Yeah, the pearl finishes are expensive, yeah.
I saw that. I was like, what? It's white. It's like, I don't even like white cars. I don't even know why I have a white car, but it's what it is.
I don't have a white car. My wife does. It's beautiful though.
Yeah. But Gugon you can put on the car. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good for taking res. I'm actually going to try it because in my Trans Am the back window, the tint has gone horribly wrong and it's old and peeling and everything. So I want to try Gugon. I've got all the tint is off below the defroster wires, but it's still all bubbled and crappy looking over the defroster wires because I don't want to. The lower I was able to scrape.
Yeah,
but you don't want to scrape those wires.
I mean, not that I ever use the rear defrost, but it's there, and I don't want to scrape it off the window. So I'm going to try Gugon this spring to get it off.
Well, it does work, man. Aside from the fact that I took a sticker off the side, like the back of back bumper or whatever, and I peeled a bunch of paint off. I mean, like whatever goo resin was left there, it was such like a simple task to get off. Like, I mean, you spray it on the thing, you let it sit for a second, then you just beat the piss out of it when you're scrubbing it, but it's not that big of a deal. For me, it took me like 20 minutes to get it all off, and it was smooth. You just wash it down.
Yeah,
after,
Gugon works really well to get residue off of things. Right, we use it at work and stuff like that. So I had to use it on the floors when it's not gone, but all of the social distancing stickers and everything you'll notice are all off the floors and stuff. And I had to use Gugon on the floors when I peeled those stickers off at work.
Right.
And to get rid of the residue that those stickers left. So
we had marks when we took that tape up for a long time. They're gone, I think, now that you mention it. Okay, so
the floor's all carpet though, right?
Yeah. So the tape just picked up a bunch of dirt. So now the dirt's back, so we don't see it. Okay, so what creative things can we do in the summer to keep our energy up? I've got a list of 7 things that I found online here. But do you guys have any thoughts about what you do to keep your energy up or to be creative in the spring, other than clean your car, Sean? Because I can see how that would be one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I switch it up every now and then. Like I play around with my process of doing things, but the way I get creative is I just try and find like each year for me, like since I've had this car, I've always tried to do something different with the car, like no matter whether it's cosmetic or something interior. So for me, I kind of use my brain because I know how to build cars on the outside. Like I know how to make it look semi-decent. At least I think so. That's my own opinion.
At least to yourself, and that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? So I know how to kind of play around with certain things, right? So I have a bunch of stuff. I usually set a list of things that I want to do to the car for each season, I guess, because it's only around for spring and summer, really. But I have I make a list of things in my head that I want to kind of do to the car to make it stand out more, to kind of display my expression of the car and how the car represents me as a person,
Mm-hmm.
So that to me is how I let my creative side out, at least in terms of springtime, because that's when I start to put money away and put foot to ass and start chopping off the list of things to put on the car.
Yeah. Mark?
I think for us, it's, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's something that happens in the spring when you get creative is we get the gardening going. So we don't have a ton of gardens. We've got There's two here that we tend to in the spring, but we've got plans to do some more. Like there are gardens that were here that hadn't been tended to by the previous owner before, and they're just like, they're like 2 foot tall of grass by the end of the summer, because I can't mow it. So every now and again I'll go over it with the weed whacker. But we've talked about, there's one circular garden that we're gonna sort of resurrect, and then we actually have. It's not big, so please don't think it's a grandiose thing. We've got like a small pond and like a waterfall on the front lawn, and I've said to Chris that I think I would like to see if I can get that going this summer. And it might be just something neat, but again, nobody comes here, so who's going to see it other than Chris and I? But you do stuff like that for yourself, so that's probably where we're going to go. But I also have a laundry list of things to do. I want to make a path down the back down to the river, so that's going to be a creative thing. I'm going to see if I can clear a path. There's a little there's sort of like a plateau back there that overlooks the river that is just grass. There's no weeds on it and stuff, but it just seems to be grass. So I want to see if I can get a path cleared to it so that I can put a couple of Muskoka chairs down there overlooking the river for either in the spring or in the fall when the bugs have gone back to hell where they belong.
Yeah, no, not in the summer.
Yeah, no, not in the summer, because they'll care. Well, I mean, it'd be a quick way to get back to the house, because the bugs will just pick you up and carry you over.
Yeah, right.
And then a US F-22 Raptor will come and shoot me down
because you're an unidentified flying mosquito-driven object. Yeah. Yeah. Aurora?
I don't know. Around the spring, like I usually come up with some sort of. I get together with my friend Elisa, who I always say her name, but we're both We're both like best friends, obviously, and we're both photographers. So we usually like to meet up sometime around early spring and talk about different ideas for creative shoots that we can kind of work on together. So like last year we ended up eventually planning out a shoot at the Neon Demon Studio, which was really cool. It was kind of a fun neon shoot, and we'd been planning it for months and stuff like that. One year we went to the Guildwood Park or whatever, and we did some levitation photos and stuff like that, and just finding something interesting to do with photography, I guess, is something that we typically work on. I mean, this year I feel like spring is going to be my creative stuff. I guess thinking of it now is probably going to be doing things for planning the wedding.
Yeah.
So that'll be a big deal for me this year. But yeah, I feel like typically just finding something in your own kind of creative outlet and doing that. I got a bike last summer. I've talked about this before on the show, and I really enjoyed riding that back and forth to work and going on just rides around my neighborhood and stuff like that. So I feel like that's something that I will do again when the weather gets nicer, because it'll be much more enjoyable to just be outside and ride.
Safer too.
Yeah.
Safer than riding your bike in the winter, I mean.
Yeah. No, it's not very safe.
No.
And I mean, last year I did take a pretty big wipeout on my bike, and it wasn't even winter. It's just there was some gravel. Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, I don't know.
So R2 just came back to life, and he came to see me.
I was wondering what that noise was.
Hold on, I'll pause him.
He's playing Call of Duty.
I can't pause him here.
Yeah.
So I've paused him here.
That's funny.
Stay there and think about what you've done. All right. I guess he was taking another break.
You're take 5, R2. Come on.
Yeah, right. So yeah, now he's like, "What? I just had a break." So yeah,
you gotta teach him some new words.
He does a great job, though. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, for me, I'm really looking forward to photographing birds in the backyard again. I had such a good time doing that one year. I did a little tutorial from the backyard. Yeah. It was around this time of year, and when the weather's nicer, I'll sit out there and maybe I'll do another one of those. That was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I'm really looking forward to doing more workshops at work too. Mm-hmm. We had a great pet portrait. Aurora did pet portrait event for Valentine's Day, which was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
You guys should see her in action. when she's running these events. The timing was
well,
perfect.
You know that's been a bone of contention for me. So you go.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm really looking.
I get some hack from Thunder Bay taking my pictures.
I feel so bad, Mark. One of these days, I'm gonna come to Thunder Bay, and I'm gonna be like, "Okay, Mark, I'm ready."
I just, and I'm gonna have like a black eye and a fat lip or something. Right?
Well, it's too bad you weren't closer, because you could have brought your dogs by the store and had Aurora taking pictures of the dogs, right?
Yeah, next time I plan a pet portrait event, I'll plan it around when you're in town, and then you can bring your dogs in.
There you go. Perfect.
And I'm also. Do like a little car show out front of Henry's and do like.
Ooh,
actually, that would be neat.
That.
A creative seminar, since we're talking creative, on how to take pictures of cars and what to watch out for. Things like poles going under the roof and stuff like that.
All right, I think we just started something. I ran car shows for Nosh Car Audio. I mean, you say run a car show. I'm going to call up Gemsen. I'm going to get some JL Audio car audio subwoofer cars down there and.
Oh, I'll be first in line there.
That could be awesome.
That's awesome. But,
I mean, we used to hang out at a coffee shop quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago or so, and like it was literally like they started doing these meets that was like cars and coffee, and it was like a small micro meet, but for this coffee shop. And I feel like basically any business could turn around and do something like that. And I mean, with cameras involved, I mean, everybody loves nice pictures of their cars, right?
We should definitely do that. We'll talk about that, Aurora.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a good idea. And I'm also really looking forward to the weather getting better so I can do my light painting thing I want to do. Outdoor nighttime Eigengrau idea that I have.
Although I haven't got out yet this winter and spun any wool, so I might have to arrange that before spring comes. Although, like, I've still got like 4 months before spring comes. So,
but then again, spring's kind of cool.
I've never done that, and I really want to.
Well, when I do it, you're definitely going to be there because
steel wool. I really want to do that.
I have one planned for actually the end of the month, which I don't think I'm going to do at this point. Anyway, I'll figure something out. Definitely have to do it. But the nice thing about spring is it's still wet, right? Like
yeah. I like it with the one that I did with you. I think the last one I did where the snowman was there, and Stanley the stunt camera came out.
Yep.
That one was cool because I liked the way that it lit up the snow, right? Because it gave everything that sort of glow. And I'm trying to remember if that was the one where I did the infrared images of it as well.
Don't recall that.
So I don't remember. I did the infrared at one of them, but anyways.
There's just so many opportunities in photography for spring. There's just so many things that, I mean, I like to imagine myself being able to shoot any season. Wintertime, you can't get outside. I'll do light painting in here type of thing. I just hadn't done a lot of it. I haven't felt motivated to do that kind of stuff, But all of a sudden, 2023, I'm feeling pretty motivated. So
yeah, awesome,
kind of cool,
exciting stuff.
Cool. Let's get
all right,
it.
Sean. What are you thinking now?
Okay, so I have one last question before we close out because we are at an hour now. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so for you guys and whoever shall be listening to this wonderful podcast that I'm very privileged to be a part of, what are
Mark? Wait, hang on a second.
Is he eating Fruit Loops?
Mark,
my friends, my other friends came back and they wanted cookies.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right, so what is one big and or small thing that you look forward to for spring 2023?
Ooh.
Just one. You gotta pick just one. So it's even harder question now.
Spring 2023.
Calendar. What's going on in spring 2023? Let's see here. Well, pink shirt day.
I'm just going to say waking up the cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got these 2 Trans Ams that just love driving them and love having them out on the road. It's funny because Chris has still never driven hers, but hers will be the first to wake up because it's in the garage right here and the driveway's clear in front of it. So I can pretty much as soon as we have a nice day after we've had some really good rain to clean all the sand and crap off the road, we'll wake it up and we'll get it out. But mine, I have to wait for the laneway to the back garage to dry up a bit so I don't get stuck in the mud. Although I don't think there's much mud. It's a lot of pine needles, so it would probably do all right. But I do need the snow gone because I'm not going to snow plow it with that thing. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Waking up and going for a cruise.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, I found some nice roads. Chris and we like to just Brian and Shelley are the same way. I know this. You just get in the car and you drive. And this winter, Chris and I found a couple of really cool roads that are going to be hella fun in a Trans Am. Like the road is in good shape and they're twisty and hilly and windy and up and down. Oh, it's going to be a ton of fun.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I think I'm looking forward to, especially this year. I think hopefully this year, John and I are actually going to start recording in person again. So this is going to be super fun. So we're going to get like a bunch of like audio equipment and just sit in a room and like videotape the thing and like record and just be a bunch of idiots.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I'm excited for that shit.
I like it.
That's cool. Aurora?
I gotta say, like planning my wedding. I think that's gonna be the thing that I'm gonna look forward to the most. Yeah, it's a big deal.
How good that is to hear.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, since day one we've done our podcast, it's always been we're not officially engaged. You know,
we're not really married. Yeah. We all knew it was coming. We
knew it was coming.
We knew. We felt the disturbance in the force.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's probably I want to say the Birds of Prey workshops, the day tripper photo Birds of Prey sessions that I run, but I also want to say the swap meet that I had planned to do. My only problem is I'm just not really confident that they're going to happen at this point, just because the times have changed and I'm doing different things now, and the Y Marsh isn't doing the Birds of Prey sessions anymore, so I've got to go somewhere else, and it doesn't seem to be going as smoothly as I would hoped it would. So yeah, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Ultimately, though, I'm just happy that it's spring. I'm happy that the days are longer. I'm happy we can go outside. We can do things again. And, not like Aurora said, not be too cold. You can actually, walk to your car in a normal coat or even just like this, right? Like today when we went out, Sean, it started off like Mark said, it was around 6 degrees at one point. Shelly messages me from Barrie. She's like, it's snowing. And she sends me a photo and it's snow all over the place. I'm like, how can it be snowing? It's 6 degrees. By the time I'm almost to meet you, it was 3 degrees and it was snowing. And it was like, welcome to Ontario. This is what. So I was ready to do the whole hoodie thing only, but then I got out the car and I started shivering. Put the coat on.
It was sunny and beautiful here all day today. Like I think it hit a high of 6 or 7, and I didn't even wear a jacket when I left work at 5:00, and I didn't wear my jacket.
I'd love to hear what other people do for spring.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what our viewers actually are up to, what big thing do they have going on that they're looking forward to? Because I think that's a great question. And I think we need to start really looking forward to what's going on in the future. My phone, every year, I have a saying that I put on my phone to give me motivation and inspiration. This year, that saying is 918.
918.
It's never going to show. It's look forward, not back, if you can and it doesn't matter. It is what it is. It's look forward, not back. And that's basically looking forward to what's next, what's going to happen, what's exciting. Stop worrying about all the baggage that has been for my past 50 plus years.
Because there's another piece to that saying.
What's that?
Look forward, not back. You're not going that way.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That's right.
Actually, funny you should mention that, because my mom, who doesn't happen to be a gearhead whatsoever, made an analogy one year, and I was in a really bad spot, in my brain, and she was like, "You know why the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror?" And I said, "No, why?" She goes, "Because what's in front of you is a lot bigger than what's behind you." And I was like, "You're a genius."
Yeah.
My mom's a G.
That's a really good analogy.
For you,
actually.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a good title for the show.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anywho, so I guess, friends, we're going to end off with all the spring talk. Now you got me all sad because I'm going to look outside and it's going to be freezing.
I'm going to get a flamethrower and start clearing that laneway.
We'll listen to this back when it plays live and we'll be like, damn, I wish we had thought of this. I wish we had said this. I wish we had gotten into this because now we're enjoying the spring, right?
And there'll be 3 hosts and everybody will be going, I wish Mark had never got that flamethrower.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, with all that being said, done, and out of the way, that's my own little thing that I do. I don't know. I'm just closing out the show like I would normally do on my podcast.
You should.
With that all being said, done, and out of the way, thank you very much for listening to another episode of Expressions the Podcast. We thank you all very, very, very much from the bottom of our hearts. Remember to take your mental health into consideration. Always, always, always focus on your mental health. Try and better yourself in any way you can. Be creative. Express yourself. Express yourself because it's good to express yourself. And be a genuine human being to other people. Give somebody a hug. Give somebody a high five. Tell them they look good. Be like, hey, man, hope you have a good day. Or, whatever. Do what you got to do to make somebody feel good. And also follow us on the socials. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the little bell there when you want to be notified when we post new content, which is usually every Monday.
Every Monday at 6 p.m.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
Now that that's all out of the way, we say goodbye.
See you, everybody.
See you later.
See you next week.
Bye.
Ooh, ooh.